come across this Father Seraphim Rose book really thinking nearly before I had read it that he was like them, that he was one of these sort of someone who had explored a tradition, become an expert in that tradition, and also had an equal respect for all the other traditions. But for anyone who's read that book knows it starts off totally not like that at all. And so that was a surprise to me.
England, but these places were called Holy Island, Holy England. Essentially, they're sort of in the same way that Russia was called Holy Rus, right? Because of the way of life of all the people there, and it's sort of more dedicated towards God as a whole, I'd say. And for example, you see this in the big monastic communities, definitely within Ireland and England, and that the sort of life was structured around the faith. Essentially, you don't start with the consubstantial essence of God. That's not the starting point within Orthodoxy. So if you can show these fundamental differences within both sort of the praxis and the theology of saints in the West prior to the schism, I think we can then present a good case for Orthodoxy.
And also an important figure is St. Martin of Tours, who was very much inspired by the monastic style of St. John Cassian. So again, you could call it an Egyptian style of or spirit of monasticism, and he was especially venerated in Ireland.
That's where the culture comes from. That's where you sort of get a more coherent and stable culture, whereas which is another reason why perhaps remembering and commemorating these saints will allow a stronger cultural core to form, for example, which means
one of the reasons for it is to give us this clear model for how to try to shape our lives in that direction. And so similarly, in these countries where that produced many saints in certain centuries, it's not only the individuals, but you do see that they're set in this larger context, like you said, of a fully Christian society.